Hi, it's Jack Snacks here, and welcome to Helldivers 2. What started out as a bored evening fighting more than the usual amount of those damn stalkers, and I'm not just talking the regular ones either, I'm talking Cajun spicy bugs. With some of the more meta weapons leaving me vulnerable and wide open to the heat, I decided to try something I've avoided just as much as I've avoided dropping in against the Illuminate. No offence to any Vocalist sympathisers. Surprisingly though, it left me wanting more. So I decided to drop in against each of the three factions for one mission each to test out its efficacy. Technically, it does have infinite ammo. It's one of the energy weapons with a cooldown system, and when used appropriately, doesn't leave you waiting at least 3 minutes for the next resupply to become available. And with proper heat management and switching to your primary at the right moments, you can avoid painful reload times stood still in the midst of a bug breach, and it leaves you to become the one-man army of liberty. In terms of accuracy, being stood still, it is completely accurate. There's no recoil to mitigate, so you can deal massive amounts of concentrated damage as long as you have a steady aim. It has a little bit of weapon sway when walking and firing simultaneously, but not enough to put me off from using it, and when paired with my favourite stratagem, the jetpack, you have a really good combination of dealing high amounts of consistent damage and then Boba Fetting your way out of there when the cooldown hits. Or using the jetpack to get to an out of reach vantage point and providing some much needed support from a distance. I would have to say it's mostly effective against Hulks, which are notoriously a pain in the backside, and also Hive Guards, which are probably my most hated of the Terminid collective. As you've seen as well, it's more than effective against Chargers, gunships and mid-range bots too. It is not so effective against Factory Striders, in fact I'd sooner throw my cape at one. It's also fairly effective against the Bile Titans and can usually bring one down in 1.5 cartridges or less if you've got some help from a teammate. But what I love most about it is that it feels fun to use. It's rewarding when you use it well, and it's stolen my heart for the moment. So, after testing it against all three factions, I've got to say I didn't expect it to grow on me this much. I went in thinking this would be a one and done, and yep, not using that again, but I was wrong. Thought it may be a fun experiment, maybe some content, but it actually made me rethink how I approach certain missions. It forces you to slow things down, to think more about heat, spacing and timing. It's not like the recoilless rifle where you just fire and reload. You've got to manage the weapon like it's alive, and there's something satisfying about that. When you get into a rhythm with it, pacing the heat, holding a line, watching enemies melt in real time, it feels like you've got control of the battlefield. You're not just reacting, you're dominating. That said, it's not a weapon I'd bring to every mission. If I've got a squad that loves chaos and forgets what crossfire is, I'm probably going to go back to something with less friendly fire potential, but if you've got a team that can hold formation, or you're running solo with good awareness, this thing turns you into a one-man fire support unit. It's not perfect, it won't be meta, but it's earned its place in my rotation, and more than that, it's just fun. But honestly, what I think really caught me off guard is just how usable it is. I expected a gimmick, something I'd try once, laugh at and then forget about, but after 3 missions I kept finding moments where it just made sense. It's not flashy, it's not a highlight reel weapon, it's deliberate. It forces you to commit, you can't panic shoot, and you definitely can't spray and pray. Well, maybe a little bit. But when you actually play it right, you feel like you're in control of the chaos instead of constantly reacting to endless bug breaches and bot drops, which, let's be real, is rare in this game. You still get punished if you're reckless, and you'll definitely fry a teammate if you're lazy, and yeah, sometimes it overheats at the worst possible time, but that's the trade. And right now, I'll take it. It won't be for everyone, and that's fine, but it's earned its place in my loadout rotation, like I said earlier, and I'll keep using it long after the novelty wears off, because I like it. And anyway, if you've got a stratagem nobody seems to rate but you love and you think it deserves a second look, drop it in the comments below and I'll give it a go. That's it from me. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, for democracy. And here's me eating a sandwich living up to my name, Jack Snacks, made by the girlfriend.